What's up, everybody? Welcome out to day 2. So we got rained out, but we got back going again. So this is actually my 3rd day of vine chopping. I was able to vine chop about half the day yesterday. Getting a little off my line here. But this is my 3rd day of vine chopping, but this is the 2nd day of potato harvest. So obviously I can't show you a whole lot of potato harvest when I'm out here in the vine chopper, but here across the street is where I chopped yesterday, and I think probably pretty shortly they're going to be moving over here. I don't know that we'll be able to do a whole lot though, because of all that rain we got, this soil is really wet, and this isn't sand. What they're doing over there is sand, and they're still getting trucks stuck. So there's a tractor over there, they're having to pull trucks out all the time. But this is good soil. Gotta lift my vine chopper up over these pivot tracks because my beaters touch the dirt where the pivot goes through. But yeah, this is good soil, and it's holding on to that moisture. It doesn't want to let it go. It also hasn't been very hot, and because the foliage covers the dirt, the sun doesn't dry it out either. So it'll dry out a little bit faster now that I'm chopping all the foliage off, but I honestly don't know. I don't know that they'll be able to do it. I know they're gonna finish over there and then they're gonna move everything over here, but they might just be done for the day. We might have to wait till Monday. But yeah, we're gonna see what happens today. I'm gonna keep chopping. I have this field and a field right over here, and then I'll be done over here and I'll be moving quite a ways away. The next field is clear out on the desert by all the lava rocks. But yeah, so I'm gonna turn around here and keep on going. I haven't seen them. I thought I might see them by now. That field over there is the one that they're gonna be moving into when they get here. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep on chopping. We'll get as much done as we can. Just turning around here at the end of the field, and I noticed something about this telephone pole. So this is the telephone pole where Craig snagged the dammer diker on the pole and bent the shaft and broke it. So I feel like I should come out and put a little plaque on this pole that says Craig's dent. Dented the pole, broke the dammer diker. But I'm gonna get turned around here and keep on going. Well, I had to stop for a minute. I noticed that my vine beater is going deeper on one side, so this tire, for whatever reason, is building up with all the vines and dirt. It just carries over. So I'm gonna push all this off, see if it helps me out. Yeah, we've got quite the pile here. Let's get this cleaned off. It's just wet. The dirt is wet. Everything's wet. That 2 inches of rain we got, and 2 inches of rain some places would be fine. Here in Idaho, we get maybe an inch of rain all summer. So when we get 2 inches in one storm, it's kind of abnormal for us. So it kind of threw it, and it happened to happen right before we were gonna dig spuds. So couldn't be worse timing. But it seems like nothing's ever perfect timing when you're a farmer. Something always goes wrong. Man, this is really, the vines make it really hard to get out. And I'm filming for you guys, so I've only got one hand. Oh, it's in there good. Hey, look, I can see between the tires now. If I can just get it to where I can see between the tires, probably work a lot better. Yeah, if I can get this off, should definitely lighten the load on this side. We'll get her cleaned up, get back to working. This is just a sticky, wet mess. But we gotta get it done. Can't stop because it's a little wet. Unless, well, I can't stop because it's a little wet. If they start getting all the trucks stuck in the field, they'll probably stop. Because the trucks can't go if it's too wet. So I'm just gonna get this good and cleaned off all the way. There we go. That's looking better. The rest of these, they just have a little bit right here, but it hasn't been building up a ton. For whatever reason, this one, everything was just piling up there. Because if the dirt can't flow through, it builds up. So the rest of these can still flow through. I'm probably gonna go across and knock all these off, but for the most part, that's good enough. These aren't too bad, but it's just so wet. Like where the sun has been hitting the dirt, I'll show you this. Where the sun has been able to hit the dirt right there, that's dry. But underneath, where all the foliage is, it's wet. So because the sun hasn't been able to touch it, this is just wet, sticky dirt. But we'll get back in the good old vine chopper. We'll keep cruising along here. I expect to see them anytime come over into that field. So far, nothing. It is a nice day though. It's not too hot, not too cold, sunny, not windy. It's a perfect day for harvest if it wasn't wet. All right, well, I'm walking over to my pickup now. I just finished this field. So I've got 2 of the 3 fields that are right here done. There's one more little field, but Christopher has to go to football practice, so I have to go trade him off in running the harvester. So that is where I'm headed. So I'll see you guys there. Okay, I'm out here in the tractor with Christopher now. He's giving me a rundown little refresher course on what buttons do what and how everything needs to be set, because there's a lot of settings and a lot of buttons and a lot of figuring out. So he has to leave here in a little bit, so I'm trying to get a little quick 30-minute refresher. We're also almost done with this field, so we'll be driving it to the next field. We only have one more pass and then this field will be done. But just trying to remember how to run this thing. When you only run it for 2 weeks a year, you kind of forget. So it's a good thing we make these videos so we can go back and look at them too. Okay, well, I've now traded Christopher off. So I have to drive this thing to the other field because we just finished that field. Let me tell you, I already almost hit a telephone pole because I didn't remember which direction the steering buttons went, because they're opposite of what you would think. So yeah, I'm a little nervous. I only got to ride with him for about 30 minutes before he had to go. So hopefully I don't mess it up and ruin everything, because that is definitely a possibility of something that could happen. Oh, there's a car. Don't want to hit a car, don't want to hit telephone poles. There's another car coming the other way. So, all right, I'll see you at the other field. All right, well, I'm in it now, in the field. Christopher was out here for a minute to help me kind of get things set up in the new field, put in the GPS lines and such. But yeah, I'm out here by myself now. I'm gonna let you watch me finish loading this truck. It's about maybe a little over half full. So I'm trying to remember everything that I have to do. I have to put the boom down. I have to, let's see, hydraulic 1, hydraulic 2, PTO, make sure my boom's in the right spot in the truck, and away I go. GPS is straight online. I have to make sure the harvester is digging straight and not crooked. Looks like we are. So this field, because it's not sand, it's dirt, and it's really wet, we're actually able to dig pretty good. The problem is the dirt is wet and sticky, so if I go too fast, I carry way too much dirt. If I don't go fast enough, I don't carry enough dirt, because I got to carry enough dirt up the primary chains so that I don't bruise the potatoes, because the primary chains don't have any like rubber on them, rubber coating on them. So I'm digging at 3 miles an hour right now. I feel like that's about good. I'm carrying just enough. If I go any faster, the first 2 trucks I loaded in this field, I loaded them with a ton of dirt. Okay, I'm telling him to move back. Yeah, I filled those trucks with dirt. And there's some even wet, so this field has a pivot, so everywhere there's a pivot track, it's wetter because there's actually still water, standing water in the pivot tracks. So everywhere there's a pivot track, I bog down and carry even more dirt. So I'm carrying a little bit more than I would like right now. Slow down. So I'm constantly adjusting my speed and my boom and making sure I don't hit the wheel line that's at the end of the field. It's a lot. It is a lot. This truck is almost full. Then when he gets full, I wave him off and then I hurry shut everything off. And then I set up for the next truck. Whew. I'll show you what I'm watching here. You're in a little mount, so yeah, this is what I'm looking at. So all those chains and stuff down there, I don't want them to carry too much dirt. I actually had once, I loaded it up over there on the top boom enough that it stopped my boom chain because it had so much dirt it just stopped it. So yeah, there's a lot of dirt in this field. Every field is different. The dirt conditions are different. The dirt makeup is different. The last fields were sandy, so it being wet was pretty good for the tractor and going fast. I think he was digging at almost 4.5 miles an hour in the last field. This field, I'm at 3. If I go faster than that, I just load the trucks up with dirt. I also have all of this stuff because the points, you can adjust the points up and down too. So if you're getting too much dirt, you can lift the points up, but you don't want to lift them up too much because then you'll start cutting the potatoes versus digging them out of the ground. So when I'm watching in the truck, one thing I'm watching for is I look for potatoes that are just cut in half. Because if they're cut in half, that means my points aren't down far enough. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff you got to watch and manage and constantly adjust everything and tweak everything depending on where you're at in the field and how everything's going. So yeah, I'm going to run this for the next, I think he said 5 hours. So that'll be fun. Hopefully nothing breaks. In the last field, he said that they had a whole bunch of digger links, old digger links, get caught, and it stopped the belts. They actually broke a few links on the belts because of metal. And we have a grinder here, and the tractor just cut the metal and take it out because it's really hard to get out sometimes when it's all bound up. So yeah, that's another thing I have to watch for. I have to watch and make sure that all my belts are turning and moving and going. Because if one of them stops, it loads up with dirt and just plugs everything up. It's just even worse. So you really have to watch what you're doing when you're driving this thing. All right, I've got you guys on a mount that I just happened to find in the tractor. So sorry that you can kind of see the mount. It's literally the only way I can set it up. One of the other days, another day here, I'll get my GoPro in an actual window mount and it'll be better. But for now, this is what we got. So let's see, I'm gonna turn everything on. We're on short rows in this field. Oh, I just realized I didn't put my coulters down. Better put those down or else it won't do anything. I won't be digging any taters. Okay, we're digging. But yeah, like I said, these are short rows in this field. So yeah, it might take a couple rounds to fill this truck. And if you guys fall off the window because the suction cup on this mount kind of sucks, I'm sorry. I'll fix it, okay? There's no taters coming off the boom yet because it takes a while for them to get all the way up and around. Oh, here they come. So this is basically first person view. You're seeing what I look at. Like this is what I watch all the time. I'm constantly looking at the chains. You can't really see because of that mount, the part of the chains where all the potatoes are, they're just out of view on the right. But you're essentially seeing what I'm seeing. So you're loading a spud truck right now. How does it feel? Does it feel good? Does it feel like you're accomplishing something? Because you're doing it all by yourself. So how we try to load these trucks, we load the very back first, and then we can swing the boom forward and we can load about a little over halfway, and we're to the end of the field. So I'm gonna shut this all off. I'm gonna lift my stuff up here. We gotta back up and turn around. So we load the trucks, we can load them about half full, and then we have them put their side door up. Once they put their side doors up, then we load them the same. So we go back and we load the very back again. And then, sorry, I'm a little distracted right now. We load the back again, and then once the back is all the way full, then we have a move forward and we'll load the front. I gotta be very careful not to hit this thing with my tractor. It's kind of a tight turn on this first little opened up spot, but we got it. So now I gotta steer the harvester back straight because it has rear. I'm sorry, you fell. You didn't make it very long. Ugh. We'll get it, we'll get it. You're still there? You still there? Yeah, you're still there. Are you okay? That was quite the fall you had there. I'm gonna back this up. Oh, we're going the wrong way. But I have rear steering, so I can kind of steer the back end of the harvester even though my tractor is still. So I back up. There is a riser at the end here, so I don't want to hit that. And am I still going backwards? Okay. Like I was out of gear, but the tractor was still going backwards. So now I put my chains and my coulters down in the front, and I get this all lined up with the truck, and then I turn everything back on. So hydraulic 1, hydraulic 2, PTO, GPS, and off we go. Usually I have to steer a little bit one way or another. Oh no, you fell again. Sorry. I don't know what you can see, but I can't put you back up on the window. So I'll just bring you back on the next truck. All right, you guys are back. Sorry about that. You had a pretty nasty fall there. We'll get this truck finished now. Hopefully you don't fall again. So you're a little clumsy right now. Yeah, I can't even remember what I was saying. Oh, we load the truck. See, so this one, the back is almost loaded. I just had him put his door up. Oh, the GPS was not on, so I was getting a little offline there. But we're getting there. Should have this truck loaded by the end of this row. Hopefully. He's a little close, so I can't load him that great right here. But I hate telling the trucks to move all over the place, so we just load them what we can, and yeah, whatever gets in the truck gets in the truck. I just try to load them as much as I can without running them off, and then send them in. I think we're carrying about the right amount of dirt. I just like that there's not a whole lot of dirt getting in the trucks. So I could probably dig a little bit faster, but I don't want to load the trucks up with dirt, because then that's all gonna have to get taken out of the cellar. So, yeah, it looks like we'll have him full right at the end of the row. All right, he's full. Now I gotta lift up my coulters, turn around, and we'll just keep on loading trucks. So Hope you guys enjoyed that first person view of loading trucks. Sorry you fell a few times. You gotta work on that. We're a little clumsy today apparently. All right, we just got another truck. I'm gonna give you a little bit different point of view. So now you can watch me and all the buttons I have to push. Got the joystick. Gotta turn on hydraulic 1, hydraulic 2, PTO, GPS, and then I gotta control the speed as well. They were having troubles at the cellar, so I've actually been waiting in the field for a truck for about 15 minutes. All the vines and stuff in this field have been building up on the shafts and wrapping around things and making it difficult. So I've been waiting for trucks. But we'll get her. I'm almost to the end of the field, so I gotta watch where I'm going. There's a wheel line right here. Alright, turn everything off. Lift up the coulters. Gotta lift up my boom so the truck doesn't hit it. Now I gotta make a really tight turn to get into the next row that's over here. We just opened up this new section, so it is pretty tight. If I didn't have rear steering on the harvester, I would not be able to do this. I'd have to do like a 10-point turn. Hit the GPS to get me back online. Now I have to steer the harvester so it's straight. I push this button with my pinky, and that auto centers the rear steering. I gotta pull it far enough that that truck can pull behind me and then back up to get turned around. But the yield's pretty good right here. I hope I can I think I'll be able to fill this truck before I get to the other end, so we'll see. It'd be nice if we had like an 8RX or something instead of this tractor. And this tractor's, I don't know, last year was fine. This year it seems like it's almost underpowered. Like it doesn't have enough hydraulic pressure. Alright, now I can hit that button. Points down, my coulters down, my boom down, start up all my stuff, and start going. Aside from having a few breakdowns here and there, it has been like the most perfect weather for harvest. Usually during harvest we get a lot of wind and a lot of rain and cloudy days, but today's just been nice, like 65 degrees. That's nice to me. I like it a little cooler. It's been nice and sunny and no wind. Now I know we're gonna have some bad days. I know that. You can't go 2 weeks in the fall without having some crappy weather. But we will deal with it when it comes. Right now, weather's good. We're gonna dig a lot of taters. There's just so much stuff to watch. I gotta watch the truck, and if I take my eye off the boom for more than 10 seconds, I overload one spot in the truck. But I have to watch my star table. I have to watch the side elevator table. I cannot see the rear cross because the cameras aren't working. But if there's all of a sudden no potatoes on my side elevator chain coming up the side, I'll know I have a problem with my rear cross. I have to watch to make sure I can see my primaries and secondaries and my diviner. So I have to watch. I have to tell her to put her door up. To watch, make sure, because a long time ago, way back when, all the potato equipment had, the chain was, it was like hook chain. So instead of having a belt that hooks all the links together, you'd have one rod with hooks on the end, and it would hook into the next rod and the next rod. And that's what all the chains were on all the equipment back in the day. So when you were harvesting, your chains would have inevitably come off and you would lose links in the field. You'd misplace them, they'd fall off, you couldn't find them. The whole chain would come apart, you'd have to put it back together. So when I say we find digger links, that's what I'm talking about. They're just metal rods with little loops on the end. And we find them all over the place. Doesn't matter how many years we've dug a field, we will inevitably find more digger links in the field. Just from 50, 60 years ago, when they used to use hook chain to, I don't even know what it's called, I call it hook chain because it all hooks together. But when they used to use that and it would come apart, they would just scatter digger links all over the fields. You wouldn't know, and you'd lose some. And so that's usually what gets caught in the chain, is digger links. They're about 2 to 3 feet long with hooks on both ends. Sometimes the hook's gone on one end. I have a little hill right here that I'm going up, so I have to go slower because the tractor just can't do it. But I want to try and get her all the way full. Well, didn't quite make it to the end. So I got to get the next truck. There actually is one more truck here to get all the way to the end. So, oh, here it is. So we're just going to finish up this row. A little bit of, not a whole lot in this row. Turn everything on, keep going. We've only got 20 feet left of this row. And then we'll turn around. Okay, well, filled the truck, got to the end of the row. I'm gonna turn around and keep going. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed coming in the tractor with me. Christopher actually just traded me off, so they're right there. They're over on the other side of this field. There's 2 pivots in this field. So there's a pivot over there, and then there's this pivot right here. I am in the middle of moving this pivot because you can't get around the end of it. So I got to move it out of the way because there's all these short rows on this side that I wasn't able to do yesterday. So I'm going to move this pivot out of the way so I can hopefully get around the end of it and then go finish all these short rows. And then I'll be back in the vine beater the rest of the night. So looks like they're over there opening up a new section. They're gonna have to move that pivot out of the way here pretty soon. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed me, all those different angles and points of view in the harvester. So I'll get this pivot moved and get back to chopping. All right, well, I'm just getting home now. Sorry, I didn't film any more of the chopping. It was dark and it wasn't very eventful. So anyway, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I love you. I'll see you in the next one.